Hello, litigators. Court is now in session. Happy New Year! Okay, guys. So, y'all know I just did 2 videos on the Idaho 4 case. But every time I think I'm done, something else always comes up. So, there is an article out there, guys, that the father of Kaylee, and I knew this from the beginning, guys. My original theory was that Kaylee was the target. I always knew that from day one. I kept telling y'all in part 1 when I first covered this case that I felt these girls were too pretty. They were targeted. And now Kaylee Goncalves' family has come out and they have stated that they see connections to Bryan Kohberger after the arrest. Now, because they are not allowed to go into detail, and of course, the authorities have respectfully asked the family to not release compromising information to the public, they did not go into detail about the connection. But I'm really starting to think, guys, that this guy was obsessed with Kaylee. That he had seen her somewhere in passing. He might have even been her stalker. He might have even been the guy that she had said had been stalking her. But Kaylee Goncalves, I knew this from the day one, that Kaylee was the target. I think that he had it set on his mind to kill Kaylee. And whoever got in his way, I said this in another video, that the other people happened to just be in his way. He wanted Kaylee. That's what this whole tragedy was about. And now everything's making sense because the 2 videos I talked about, you'll have to watch part 1 and part 2. But in the other videos, we talked about articles where this man, Bryan, had been going to bars. And when he would try to make a pass at different women, if they rejected him, he became angry at them. He called one girl the B word. And he would say really creepy things to various women at the bar. And it was so bad at the bar that the owner of the bar confronted Bryan one time about it. This man had a history of being antisocial, and women did not like him and they rejected him. He had been rejected so many times. And he came across Kaylee Goncalves and he was obsessed with her. He wanted to be with her, in my opinion. She rejected him. He became irate and enraged like he normally does. He has a history of this. This man has been a bully to people. He's been aggressive towards various people, and he doesn't like it when women reject him. And he had spent all this time studying about crimes and all these things and just applied it to this case. Kaylee Goncalves' family says they see connections to Bryan after the arrest. Let's see what they had to say, you guys. I knew it was Kaylee from day one. Because just like the father had said, he did not have to go up those stairs if he just was there just to randomly kill people. No, he went there to find Kaylee. That's why he went there. Goncalves, sorry, I keep saying their name wrong. Goncalves family has told ABC News that although they don't know the suspect, they have started seeing connections between their daughter and Mr. Kohberger. They told the network they are not ready to discuss those connections, but are happy, relieved, and thankful. I knew it, guys, from day one. I told you guys. I said from the very beginning that he was targeting one of the girls, and I felt it was Kaylee from day one. She's gorgeous. She looks like the type of girl that attracts a lot of stalkers, obsessive people around her. She even mentioned that she had a stalker. This man went to that house with a single purpose to get her. He was angry and he was enraged. And he has a history of being very enraged. He was very aggressive with different friends. He was aggressive with kids when he was in high school. He was a bully. He tried to bust out a window. He was very aggressive towards women at bars, calling them B words if they didn't want to be with them, make creepy comments, asking them if they had anybody with them, or if he could go home with them, or questions like, "Does anybody live with you?" or "Where do you live?" Just real creepy stuff. This man has a history of being rejected. Kaylee rejected him in some way. He was no longer going to accept being rejected. And he already has a nature of being aggressive because this crime is so consistent with his behavior of being very aggressive, not being able to handle rejection, and being a bully in the past. So he lost his mind when she rejected him. He couldn't stop thinking about it because he was so fixated on Kaylee. And he ended up carrying out this anger and went there with a mission to unalive Kaylee. Hi, Jessica Mallory, and Happy New Year. He went there. This whole tragedy was because of Kaylee, y'all. And the other 4 people ended up getting unalive because they were in his way. He didn't want to leave any witnesses. That's what it was all about. Isn't this sad, guys? That's what I think. I think once the motive comes out, it's going to be that Kaylee was the target. That's my opinion. This guy's a sick man who can't accept rejection. That's what he is. Yeah, and he has an anti-social personality, and he has repeatedly been rejected his whole life. And he's got tired of these women rejecting him. And let's look at him, guys. He is 6 foot. He is 185 pounds. 6 foot, 185 pounds. So he's a pretty big guy. I feel, given his build, given his height, and the fact that he was a part-time security officer at Pleasantville School, and he listed his mother as a paraprofessional until at least August 2021, according to the school agenda records. This man, his physique, his 6 feet, 185 pounds, I think he could have overpowered all of the 4 victims. Definitely, more than definitely. This was isolated, targeted attack. And it was, guys, it was Kaylee. It was Kaylee. As sad as it is, he wanted Kaylee. And the other people were in his way, allegedly. And he was willing to take out anyone because he had this obsession with this girl. The family is saying they see a connection. They know some things, guys. He probably even was following her on her social media. She's posting all these, she's beautiful. And I feel sad for beautiful women out there, guys. Beautiful women have it hard because they can't reject men, because these sick men, some of these men like this guy, Bryan Kohlberger, they can't accept no. He's been used to getting all these no's, and he was not going to accept no from Kaylee. That's what I think. My theory is that because the family, the father is saying, the family from Kaylee's side, Goncalves' side, is saying that they know there's a connection. They don't want to tell what it is, though. He probably went to some of those sorority parties at the house, too. That's how he knew how to get in. That's how he knew how to get in the back. Yep. He knew Kaylee, probably saw her in passing. The girl's a gorgeous girl. And I feel so sad for her because she had her whole life ahead of her. She was going to be going to Texas. She was going to start a new life. And he took that away from her because his sick, disgusted, egotistical self could not accept no for an answer. I feel so sad for beautiful women out there, man. They have it so hard because sick people out there can have these obsessions with women and end up carrying out these sick psychotic actions, guys. This man knew Kaylee. Oh, yeah. In my opinion. Oh, yeah. I knew it. And I was waiting to find an article just to give me the clue that there was a connection. And the family came out from Kaylee's side saying that they know the connection. The problem is they're not telling us the detail yet because the authorities have advised them not to say anything. They're very tight-lipped. They're keeping the case very, very tight, keeping the information close. Mr. Fry said on Friday that he would 100% stand behind how we handled this case investigation, keeping information that was pertinent to this case very, very tight. We want to have a situation where this goes to trial. There's no doubt we've done everything right. So that's why they're not saying stuff, guys. So, guys, I think this is what happened, man. I feel like he went after Kaylee. He must have met her at some event. He's only 8 miles away from that campus. So he must have went over there, maybe met them at the bar, maybe met her at school. Somewhere he met her, maybe at a bar, a sorority party. She's going to a lot of sorority parties, And he's the type of guy that goes out to this stuff too and drinks a lot. He drinks alcohol too. Drug addict too, allegedly. People are saying. Right, Nine Angels. Right. And he lost his mind. The man is enraged. There's so many articles we went over about people saying that he was aggressive, he was a bully, he had anger problems, oh my God, he was aggressive towards women, calling him a B word. Imagine what he was saying about Kaylee, guys. He was mad because Kaylee rejected him. She may not even known that she rejected him, but the fact that she has already hinted that she had a stalker, I honestly think he possibly was her stalker. Right, Nine Angels. Exactly. Nine Angels. And I've said this on the other video. I always knew from the very first time I watched, the very first time I covered the case, I told everybody, I feel it's Kaylee. And then stuff started coming out about the father. The father said that Kaylee's injuries were more severe. That's why her injuries were more severe. That's who he wanted from day one. He went in the house. The girlfriend and the boyfriend, they were in the way. They were on the second floor. He couldn't get past them without them being a witness, so he had to kill them. Then when he gets upstairs, Kaylee and her best friend are sleeping in the same bed. So what does that mean? Now both of them die, and he saved Kaylee for last. That was who he wanted. Hence why he didn't go to the first floor. He wanted Kaylee. That's why the people in his way that were going to be his witnesses, he took them out so he can get to Kaylee. And that's why, like Nine Angels said, Kaylee had the most severe, horrific injuries and died the most horrendous death. And it's so sad because these beautiful young ladies, it's not safe to be beautiful anymore. It's so sad, guys. This is sad. A beautiful woman dies because she rejects a man who had a flawed ego, who was constantly being rejected his whole life and couldn't accept rejection. Disgusting, guys. And the fact that 5 months he was asking prior killers out there what they did and why they did what they did. All of it started making sense to him when he talked to those people, because he realized he wanted to kill Kaylee. He wanted to unalive her because she did not want to be with him, guys. That's my theory. And, oh, Happy New Year. It's 12 o'clock. Happy New Year! Woo, woo, woo. It's 12. It's 12. Happy New Year to my beautiful subscribers. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, guys. We shouldn't be celebrating right now because I'm still sad about Kaylee right now. Sorry. Woo. Let's get back to the case, guys. I'm so sad for Kaylee, guys. I'm so sad for these victims involved. All 4 of them. They're just beautiful people. They deserve to live. They deserve to have a future. And this sick, oh my gosh, I just can't stand this. And I'm angry because I feel like jail is not enough. The death penalty is not enough. This man is enjoying the ride. He loved that he got caught. He's loving all the attention. He's loving all the publicity he's getting. He's clearly an egotistical loner. He was so happy when he unalived her and the other 3 people that he was celebrating in class. This is disgusting, guys. And poor Kaylee, man, the way she died, man, the way they all died. I'm not trying to but I'm just saying the reason why I'm focused on Kaylee, because I know she was the one that he wanted, y'all. Oh, and these poor other 3 victims that had nothing to do, in the way, had nothing to do with anything, and they lose their life too. So it's like all 4 of these beautiful people die because of a sick, egotistical psycho. So guys, we're going to continue to hear stuff, but this article really clarifies things for us that Kaylee's family says they see connections to Bryan Kohberger after arrest. Yep. The dad knew, guys. The dad knew his daughter. He told ABC News that although they don't know the suspect, they have started seeing connections between his daughter and her and Bryan. So I'm so heartbroken, man. This case really it took me out, guys, because these beautiful college students, they had a beautiful, bright future ahead of them. And this sick, psychotic, and look how happy, he's still happy. And he's so proud of himself. And he loves now that everybody knows it's him. The little small smirk on his sick face. The problem is, guys, taking him to jail, arresting him, all of that. He enjoys this. So this is not a punishment to him, guys. So people are like, God bring justice. There's a special place in hell for Bryan. 9 angels. Girl, this is not even punishment for him. He likes it. He's happy. He's proud of himself. He's been studying this his whole life. And literally, when an opportunity came, when he was so angry and enraged at Kaylee Goncalves for rejecting his sick psycho self, now he carried out his rage. He let his rage get the best of him, and then thought he was going to try to apply all the things that he studied to get away with it. But this dumb sicko doesn't realize all the stuff he learned at school. It should have been clear to him that he wasn't going to get away with it. So he's just proud now that he's got caught. He has a sense of proudness about him and egotistical, and have the audacity to try to ask the cops if they arrested somebody else. He knows good and well they didn't arrest anybody else, because he knows good and well he's the one that did it. And given his physique, 6'1", guys, 185 pounds, yes, he definitely carried this out by himself. A lot of people kept saying, could he, did he have other people? No. He went by himself. He went there. He was 6 foot, 185 pounds. He went there and he targeted poor Kaylee Goncalves. And then the other poor victims happened to be in his way. And he didn't want to leave any witnesses. Guys, this is so sad, man. Right, in Johnson, sorry. She says it fills with his education that going to be smarter than his attorney and his criminology degree, he's going to get caught up. Right, girl. Exactly. The smart ones always get caught because they always think they're better than everybody and they can outsmart people. But they be the ones that always get caught because they let their ego get the best of him. Guys, this guy is a narcissist. That's what he is. He's a narcissist. He's a narcissist who had an ego. He had a narcissistic injury when Kaylee rejected him. He sustained a narcissistic injury. And when narcissists sustain a narcissistic injury, it can set off a fit of rage in them. And he has the capability to exert this rage based upon all the several prior interactions with this guy that many people have said dating back to high school, of him being aggressive towards different people, even friends, him using drugs, him punching windows, him bullying kids at school, him being angry and aggressive towards women. And finally, it reached a tipping point when Kaylee, being as beautiful and stunning and gorgeous as she is, he could not accept that she didn't want to be with him. And he sustained a narcissistic injury, and he exploded that night, and he went there with a mission to get her. He probably even went to some of their sorority parties, met her at sorority events. Who knows? That's how he knew the whole makeup of the house and everything. Probably went to one of the parties one time. Saw her there, was obsessed with the girl. She didn't want him. And so he was going to carry out his rage. He was enraged, guys. He was angry that night. You can tell by the fact that he literally made the house walls bleed. The walls bled from the outside. That is a person of rage. He reminds me so much of Ted Bundy, because Ted Bundy had that same rage, the same exact rage. He also was rejected by a woman who was a brunette before he started targeting women who were brunettes. Ted Bundy. He was rejected by a woman who was a brunette, and then he started focusing on women who were brunettes and was killing unaliving all these women who were brunettes, because he had a vendetta against women who were brunettes because of experiencing his first narcissistic injury when he was rejected by one. And also had issues with his mom. So that's why I just keep pointing back to Ted Bundy, because he really reminds me of Ted Bundy and has the same similar rage that Ted Bundy had. And now we know his physique. We know he's 6 foot. He's 185 pounds. He definitely could have overpowered the boy, because I don't even know how tall the boy is. But this boy here looks like he's a little smaller than Mr. Ted Bundy Jr. here, Bryan Kohberger. So guys, my heart is crushed. But I tell you, once the information comes out, we're going to find that there was a connection or obsession he had with Kaylee. That's what we're going to find out. I always knew from the day one. I knew it. I should have stuck to my original theory, because I said that from day one when I went on the very first video we talked about. I said that I felt it was one of the girls. And then I said, no, it's Kaylee. I know it's Kaylee because, and even the fact that she also has a stalker. And then there was more coming out from the father saying that she had more of the severe injuries. She was the one he wanted from day one. He was fixated on that girl. Poor girl. That's messed up. It's not safe to be beautiful anymore, guys. You can't be beautiful in the streets. You can't. She died because she was a beautiful woman and he couldn't accept that she was rejected. Sorry, that he was rejected by her. Ted Bundy Jr. Oh, God. Happy New Year's, guys. Oh, I love y'all. Woo! We brought in the new year together, even though we're talking about this horrific case. But nevertheless, we're here together. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think about your theory. Do you think we're on the right track? I mean, the family is now coming out saying there was a connection between Kaylee and Bryan. So it's really sounding like that, guys. He's hinting towards some things that we're going to find out once Mr. Sick Psycho Bryan gets extradited back to Idaho. And my guess is he's going to be trying to be slick and clever like Mr. Ted Bundy was. And he's going to drag the heck out of this case, guys, for years and see if he can keep getting delay. That's probably what he's going to do. But guys, let's keep track of this case and see what happens. Take care. Happy New Year.